making the construction quilt, let's go make the patchwork that's going in between it. But first, don't forget to share this so it will save to your profile and you can find it when you're looking for it again later. Y'all been watching me work on this construction quilt. Now let's look at the patchwork that's gonna go in between. Now we're doing applique, so we're gonna do applique, patchwork, applique, 6 applique blocks and 6 patchwork blocks. This is gonna be the patchwork. Now, these are 2.5 by 4.5. These are 2.5 by 2.5. You're gonna start with 27, 2.5 by 4.5, and 27, 2.5 by 2.5. The first thing you're gonna do is sew 1 2.5 by 2.5 to 1 2.5 by 4.5. Just gonna fold it over just like this, pretty side to pretty side, and you're gonna stitch right here. Then you're gonna open it up. You're gonna do that to all 27 of these. You're gonna back stitch when you start and when you stop. Sew these with a 1/4 inch seam, and we're going to get that 1/4 inch seam by following the edge of our fabric with the edge of our presser foot.
I chose to use some construction themed fabric cut 2.5 by 4.5 inches, and then this black and white polka dot cut 2.5 by 2.5 inches. But you could use anything you want. All of my 2.5 by 2.5 inch pieces are the same, but you could do those all different also. Or you could do your 2.5 by 4.5 the same too. It's your quilt. You make it however you want it.
So the next thing you're going to do is lay your pieces out how you want them to look. And yes, I know this one is sewn upside down because I obviously wasn't paying attention, but I'll fix that before I move on. So I'm laying my pieces out like I think I want them to look. There needs to be 3 of these, 1, 2, 3. So actually a total of 6 pieces in each row, and we're going to have 9 rows. So we are 3 across and 9 down. So now I'm just gonna sew these rows together. What I'm gonna do is turn this one over, and I'm gonna sew it pretty side to pretty side on this side. And then I'm gonna open it up, and I'm gonna turn it over on top of this one and sew that. And then I'm gonna open it up and do the same thing. I'm gonna sew all of this row together, all of this row together, and all of this row together.
I'm sewing these with a 1/4 inch seam, back stitching when I start and when I stop, and I'm just sewing them with a straight stitch. The construction appliques that are going in between these patchwork blocks are all available at hometownquiltcompany.com. There's 12 of them, but I'm making 2 separate quilts. I'm using 6 in one and 6 in another. You can buy them individually or as a set, so choose your favorites, or you could do all 12 of them in one quilt. But whatever you do, be sure to email me a photo to hometownquiltcompany@gmail.com for the show and tell we all want to see.
I know, I forgot to turn it. But just make sure your pieces are actually in the right direction. I'm going to finish this one up, and when I'm done with y'all, then I'm going to go back and pull that out and turn it. So what we're going to do now is iron it. I'm going to iron mine, and you iron yours.
Iron yours in any direction you want to. I just iron mine flat to one side. But if you want to iron your seams open, I want you to. Don't yell at me for how I iron mine.
I've ironed mine. You've ironed yours. All of your pieces are going in the right direction, unlike all of mine, but that's okay. I'll fix mine later. This is what I want mine to look like. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn this pretty side to pretty side. I'm gonna sew right down here. Then I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna fold this over pretty side to pretty side, and I'm gonna sew down that side. Easy, easy. 1/4 inch seam, back stitch when you start and when you stop, and try to make sure that your seams match up as you get to them. So unpopular opinion, I tell my students to match their seams. I don't care what they have to do. Pinch it, pleat it, pull it, whatever you've got to do to make your seams match. Because if you get one off, they never get back on. And you'll never see that one tiny piece that they pinched, pleated, or pulled. But you will see the entire quilt off. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's our finished quilt block. Now this block finishes out at 18 inches by 18 inches. This is gonna go in between each one of the construction appliques. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher, and I would love for you to come sew with me.